All right, finally made it. Today's target is the elusive meter barra. Come up here last couple of weeks ago and absolutely smashed it up here with barra. So I'm back again. All lures today, just trolling. And hopefully we get stuck into a heap of barra. It's a little bit windy today, which might have closed them down a little bit. But I just talked to a bloke at the gate before and he reckons he got 4 this morning, so that's got me pretty excited at the moment. So he's from down in Geraldton, he reckons he got 4, so if he can get 4, I should be able to get 14, hopefully. So let me unpack my boat, get all my boat packed up, ready to start fishing. Get the sim rad in, all the other gear in I need, and we'll get going. All right, boat's in, gear's in. I might just tie a couple new leaders on. Maybe tie some 80-pound leader on, I reckon. 2 rods, 2 leaders. I've already upgraded my trebles for today. So I'll get my leaders sorted and my lures on, and then we'll start fishing. So what we're doing today too is we're going to unleash the big 200mm Barra Classic. Have a look at the size of this thing. 200mm Classic. So I'm going to we'll throw a normal size Classic out. That'll be the rod in my hand. But then I'm going to throw this big bad girl out and just tow it along and just see what eats it. I dare say if something grabs this lure, we could be getting the net out. So I've just marked absolute horses of fish. I can't zoom back to show you, but there was 3 huge barras sitting there. So I've marked it as today. Go back and see if we can stir them up. We are on. Not real. Some of these barra, they're only around the 700-800, but they're absolute great trains. Been feeding all wet season, cherubin and whatever else, and they're actually pulling like they're well over 1 metre, some of these fish. I'm just going to sort of mosey out to the middle a little bit as I fight it, so we don't get any snags. Out in the clear. All right. Doesn't jump yet, which is good. Try to keep him down. I haven't seen him yet either. Feels good. Feels like he could go around the 800. He's staying pretty deep. Here he comes. His leader. Got a leader on. Barra somewhere. There you go, it's hooked in the guts, that's why. Look at there you go, look. of a... There you go, look at that. He's not even in the mouth at all. All 3 trebles on the side of him. He's probably about, as a guess, I reckon he's about 70 centimetres. Little look. That trebles out. There we got 3 trebles stuck in the side of him. So yeah, that's 1 down. See how many more we can get. We are targeting the meteries, but that's a good start. Just hooked another one. So we're up to 4 now. We missed one before. Changed some batteries and it wasn't that big anyway. But this one here, it's hard to tell how big they are. Absolutely just like little barras on steroids. Even the little 70s are just, when they hit it, they almost pull your rod out of your hand. It's coming in now. Back the drag up a little bit, but you can see how a 70 or even a little 60 like this could quite easily turn into a metery when you get close to the boat, because they just pull so hard. This one's only a little tiny one. Like, it would have took 20 metres of line off me, I reckon. No. It's not the big horses we're after, but still that good sized barra. So that's 4 now. They're staying deep today. They're not jumping, which is good. You lose twice as many when they jump. So no need to keep the rod tip down. Just... yeah, I'm not netting them. I won't pull the net out unless they're going to go, you know, at 90 to a metre mark. I gotta net these little fellas. Oh look, this drag is so tight, you know, like, and they're just pulling it out. And once again on the old Barra Classic, the old faithful classic, been around forever. The old Guns N' Roses classic. I think everyone's got one of them in the tackle box. And I think this is the Ghost one, the new Ghost series Guns N' Roses. But there he is. Nice Fitzroy River Barra, another one. I'll pull him in and release him and we'll get going again. Hopefully we find that metery. I've pulled the big 200mm classic out now. We might get it back in later and trial some shallow water for a bigger one. Another nice barra. Hard to tell how big they are still. Yeah, them were 70s before. They were actually, some of them were actually 80. I measured one of them before and it was 82 centimetres. I was calling them for 70s. That might be because they're so fat. I don't know. This one is taking some line. I reckon he could be another 80. It's on the Ghost, this one. Changed it to the white Ghost. In the afternoon too now, they're starting to fire up a bit more, eh? A few of the fish from that have been sitting on the bottom all afternoon have sort of come up to the top. They're moving up halfway up into the water column, which is good. Here he goes. Oh yeah, it's probably 80. Another 80 centimetre, I reckon. I'm not going to bother netting him, because I reckon that, you know, that's as good as netted. That's well and truly in the net if there had been a netting it. I'm just going to lip grip it. It's only on one. It's only on one treble, so we'll probably get off in a minute. But yeah, it's a nice barrow, that one. He's well over the 80 mark. He's got a couple of trebles left in him. There you go. We might be able to lip grip him in. I only really pull the net out if they're going to go that metre mark. No point really getting tangles and all that sort of stuff. And the net, hooked trebles all in the net for 80 centimetre fish. There he is. Get him over here. Bang! Let's have a measure of him. A little bit bigger, this one. Not the big metre mark that we're looking for, but that's alright. I'm going to have to change this treble out, I know that. He's well and truly bent this treble off. Brag, Matty. It's just shy of 90 centimetres. Still a good barra. Nice barra. And the little fella, I think he's too big. Nice glass off now this afternoon. Fish are a little bit more active too. I don't think he's that big, this fish is just a little wild thing. Steroids again, here we go. And a little fella hooked in the head. There we go. Big one I'm after, and hooked at the side of the head. There you go. Little fella. A 60 centimetre job. I'll leave him off. I'll get him off and we'll get back in the water.
So day 2. Early in the morning, it's about 6. We ended up with about 8 barra yesterday. Biggest one we got was the 80. Was it 88 centimetres? Biggest one we got yesterday. The big 200mm classic. They got hit once. A barra actually hit it and jumped out of the water. It wasn't that big, it was about 70 centimetres I reckon. I've seen it sort of just jump out. The rod buckled over, but it got off. Probably wouldn't have been able to get the lure down its neck. But we'll do the same today. We'll just do that same trolling run and we'll throw the big 200mm out and see if we can tempt in. There is some bigger fish on the sounder, but No, the bigger ones are a bit hard to get. They're a bit probably too full from all the bonies and mullet and cherubim that have been eaten. But we'll persist today till about 2 o'clock and head back into Broome. Still probably run the classics all day, the old famous Barra classics. Just get them out and give them a bit of a rattle them up. We actually got a metre 5 the other week when we were up here, so there is some bigger. I know there's bigger Barra in here. We got a couple of 90s and cracked a metre 5 on a classic, so definitely some big Barra here. Just got to keep shaking them up. Get back on the water. We'll get it going again.
First barra for the day. First barra for the morning, I should say. Another nice 70. Somewhere out here. Where is he? There he is. Spitting out bonies. Just engulfed the lure, it's gone. No getting off this one. That's why I used the 80 pound. Look at that, completely rubbed off. Almost rubbed through on a 70 centimetre barra. Dare say if that fish had been a metre, been a bit of strife now. Look at that leader. Just completely chomped, look at that. Look how deep the lure's down. Let the GoPro off, show you. So that's a Barra Classic. Look where it is. Down the throat, completely engulfed. That's why you got to use the big leader. Can't really see the leader, but you can see it chafed up. Oh, we'll get him back. Have a look at that. There you go. You can see it better now. Down the hatch. Not a bad size barra here. Got the other line out still too. This one took a little bit of line. Hope I don't end up in a big tangle now. Stays deeper might be right. If I can want the other line at the same time. Can get a bit harder with 2 rods out. This is number 3 now for today. Still haven't cracked the big metre mark, but this is a good barra. This one would have to be 90. I reckon this one could be a netter. This one go, I don't know if it's gonna go a metre. That's some good fish in anyone's books. Here's a solid fish, look at that. Get this barra in on my own. Line everywhere at the moment here. Biggest mess going on at the moment here. Fishing line. He probably should have been gone this barra already. A bit of a must be had a good hook in him. There he goes. Let that be. That would have been a netted fish then. He was close enough to the boat to net him. Someone had netted it. I'll bring him in for another little go. There he is. Not a metre, but a good barra. Really good barra. Ready to be close to a bloody. Should be up around the high 90s. Wow, look at that. Too. That's why it pays to upgrade the trebles a little bit. Sometimes the original trebles aren't quite big enough for the big girls. Let's get him on the mat and have a look at him. We got 95. Changed techniques now. Kind of the old vibe seems to be working. They're all hard up on the bottom and they've just started to sulk. They're just not interested in lures at the moment. They're just hard up on the bottom and they're just not moving. So change tactics, vibes. I'm just vibing right down low and just getting right in their faces and just wiping it. And I've actually got a 91 just before. Couldn't really get the GoPro in time. When they start lifting later on this afternoon, if they start lifting off the bottom again, I'll probably switch back to lures, but I'm still seeing the fish on the sounder, but just not hooking up. So this Look at this one. I don't want to go too hard either because I've only got one vibe. I don't want to lose it. This fish was so weird, it actually hit the vibe and then my line went loose. So I kept the motor in gear and then probably trolled like another 10 meters and I couldn't take up any slack on my line. And I was like, what's going on? Like, and then I realized there was a fish on it. So the fish just hit it and swam forward. It just kept swimming forward. Often that's what the real big ones do too, they hit it and swim forward. But that's good. Corner of the jaw. There you go, it's not real big, this one. Good esky fish. Nice one. Nice little 60 or 70, whatever he is. What is he? 60, 71. 71 centimeters. I dropped him. Oh, just found another big patch of barra, heaps of them here. Going to another barra, another 70 model, I reckon. They have been very quiet the last hour or two. Been really spread out. Oh, where's he going? Probably another, I think this one could even go 80. Pretty thick. Fussed if I lose it really. I'm going home shortly. We do another couple of runs and then I'll call it. No big meteries today. Next time. Some of these fish, when they hit the vibes, I don't actually realise they're hooked until a couple of seconds later, because the vibes are so small. They just engulf them and then swim off with them. And then they realise that they're hooked. There you go, look at that. Solid barra. Actually ripped a treble off the back of the lure. Actually upgraded this treble just before. Put a 6.0 on it, 6 times VMC on it. I'm lucky I did, because he has ripped the back treble completely off this lure and he's hooked on the one VMC. That's what he's hooked on. He's hooked on that one VMC treble. Look at that, the other one's gone. Ripped. Oh, it's actually ripped through the cable and all, gone. Jesus. There you go. Another nice barra. Looking 70, high 70s, I reckon. Let him go. Bang, up he goes. Just like that. Well, that's it. 2 days barra fishing. Ended up with about, must have ended up with about 15 or 16, I don't know, 16 barra, not sure how many we got, would have been over 15. Nothing on the 200mm Classic. We've got most of them on just the regular barra Classic. We've got a few on the Vibes, or one Vibe that I found until I got the back of it ripped out. Got a few trebles bent. We ended up with like, might have been 3 over 90, a few over 80, a few 70s. So head back to the room now.